Okay, welcome to the 72 Memorial Debates. Principal Yokoi kicked off the dramatics. Everyone knows the candidates, and now it's time to hear about the issues. The first question is for you, Mr. Falcon, journalized Silex, the president of the class newspaper. What are your feelings about global warming? Global warming? He's running for class president, not president of the frickin' United States! Okay. Captain Falcon cooled with a simmering snap. My real question is, what are you feeling about global warming? That was the weakest answer a politician would ever give. I mean, sure, we all make fun of Americans because of their tendency to elect the worst possible people, but I don't even think this would pass in America. It would be like instant disqualification right there. Falcon sleaze-stepped the issues. All of the Republicans cheered because they were too stupid to understand that Falcon had not answered question and was only sucking his guts. That's not exactly something I would like to do, sucking my guts. But, also, way to generalize and put all Republicans in the same bag. I mean, sure, I'm not a big fan of their policies, but I still know for a fact that there are Republicans out there that don't really endorse some of the crap that we hear during electoral campaigns and stuff. It's just that those Republicans happen to never run for president. Anyway, moving on. Thank you, Mr. Falcon. If I got that kind of reply, I would have said, fuck you, Mr. Falcon. As deadpan as that. Dr. Samus? When did she get a doctorate? Was she, like, flunking history a few minutes ago? How do you feel about the World War III? Where a long time after this fanfic allegedly happened, once again I'm going to keep that for a later video, but World War III still hasn't happened, and I'm not exactly sure it's going to happen in the short term, or middle term, or even long term either. Silex discretionized. All eyes were on Samus as she formulated her pustition, but she remained cucumber cool? Cucumber cool, huh? I gotta remember that one. And answered, war is not the option, but if it's necessary, then it must happen for people. So, war is not an option, but 5 seconds later, if it's necessary, then it must happen. Way to contradict yourself. That, too, would probably be an instant disqualification. Man, I pity the poor saps who are going to have to vote for either Captain Falcon or Samus Aran. This is the worst debate ever. And since when do war happen for the people? That's what I'm trying to understand, because if anything, wars make unnecessary casualties, and they just rarely help regular people like you and me. It's just for the benefit of the rich and powerful, and you know, I'm not going to get into that because you're not here to listen to me blabber on about politics. But let's continue. Many people clapped, except for the Falcon Republicans who were too stupid to know about wars. So, is that the new, except for 111 Samus Really Forever 2006, who was busy doing something else? Because it seems like it, and it's always the Republicans were too stupid and blah 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 to know about wars. Anyway, continuing. Thank you, everyone. That concludes the debate. Wow, one question each and one very, very weak answer on each side. If I studied at Metroid High, I probably would sit this one out and not vote for either. Thank you, everyone. That concludes the debate, and it is time to choose the candidates. But remember not to choose popular people and only who you heart is after. Since when would the principal tell people how to vote? I mean, how you vote and why you vote for someone, it's entirely up to you. And we saw in the Democratic primary that people voted for Samus because she was hot, so I guess Principal Yokoi doesn't have much of a ground to stand on here. Yokoi Disney channeled. Wow, with all those really ridiculous made-up verbs, I'm probably going to be starting a brand new dictionary soon. I'm going to call it the 111 Samus Ridley Forever 2006 Dictionary of Words that you should never ever use unless you feel like sounding like a complete and total dumbass. But everyone knew that people would vote for the populists. And suddenly, populist is used in a context that is sort of right, I guess. So she knew how to use it, so why did she not use it properly the first time she used it? But who was the most? One. The votes were just about to be tallied, and Samus was taking a walk through halls when she heard a strange rumbling, bumbling noise from the boiler room. What could it be? She investigated as she opened the door and was shocked to find a political machine. Ha! You caught us trying to rig votes with a copying machine. Snaked up Captain Falcon and ex facto Candon, who were joined with other Republicans. They looked serious, but Samus was too. The ass unexcaptable. Samus furied as she began to use jitsu signs and stances, but Candon summoned bodyguards. Who was it? Kraid and his gang! Luckily, Samus was used to fighting these losers, so she took them all out with her techniques and attacks, and soon they were piled on the floors. Not just one floor either, because, that's Kraid we're talking about. He's probably like 15 stories high. You may have defeated idiots, but what about me? Captain Falcon punched Samus, but she dodged and dumbass Falcon fell out of the window he punched so hard. Candon ran away because he didn't want to get caught, but hall monitor Noxus jailed him for conspiracies against the populace. And what about Samus? Wait a minute. They got a jail in a high school? What the hell kind of high school is this? And get ready, we're going to be saying that sentence a lot throughout the final chapter. Just watch. Congratulations, President Aaron. Principal Yokoi inaugurated Samus to the presidency, and there were many cheers among the crowd, even a few rhinos who were sorta like Democrats. What do rhinos have to do with anything? Ugh. Let's just finish this. Everything was going well, but right as Samus signed the articles and was about to enact the A clause, a voice could be heard over the announcer. Hello to the people of the school. It is I, Emperor Falcon. So he lost the class president election, punches through a window and falls off it, and suddenly he's now Emperor Falcon. Yeah, of course, he's attempting to take over through hostile means. So, yeah, it's a coup in a high school. What kind of high school is this? I have taken over the office, and I am now the president of the school. Principal Yokoi was befuzzled, but he was a bozo cop? What the hell's a bozo cop? And didn't even know what to do. You're the principal! You can stop this right now! You! Principal! Do something! The school was under siege. My first order of business is that Samus Aran, who thinks she is president of class, because she was elected as such, is arrested for treason against Falcon government. The captain hardlined as you could hear Kraid and gang members in the background snacking and snicking at the situation. When she is arrested, she is to be killed and displayed for public appeal. So, Samus was about to be executed twice in this chapter. Once by her adoptive mother for getting a D in history, and Another one because of a coup in a high school? Samus's eyes narrowed. She may have won the election, but would she win the insurrection? The Metroid high school election was over. The Metroid Civil War had just begun. And once again, this leads straight into Chapter 8, and yet the first 5 chapters happened between this and Chapter 8, and it's like the events of this chapter never happened in the first 5. So, yeah, this fanfiction is just this poorly written. Okay, I wrote that in a huff, so I'm sorry if there was spelling mistakes or grammar bad. Perhaps the most ironic thing so far in this fanfic, or grammar bad, really. But I do the best I can. No, you're not. Or, alternatively, if that's the best you can do, maybe you should just stick to nothing. I hope next chapter isn't a year like last one, but things happen in life and you never know. Until next time, live, love, and prosper. I watched Star Wars this weekend. I can't wait for the new one with Matt Damon. Not a tricky, but Damon's hot. So, was she watching Star Wars or Star Trek or something with Matt Damon? Because as far as I know, Matt Damon was never in anything resembling Star Wars or Star Trek. So, yeah, I don't know either. Man, this chapter was so bad, and I feel really bad for anyone who's an American watching this and has a more democratic political allegiance, because of course it just makes you feel like crap having this chick think the way you do, except for all the wrong reasons. It makes you think, though, would you rather be associated with her or with the likes of Bill O'Reilly, Glenn Beck, Sarah Palin, George W. Bush? Kind of makes you think, doesn't it? Tough decision, I know. So, on that note, this has been Slowflake, and I will see you next time for Chapter 8. Endgame finale. With a title like that, I really hope it's the last chapter. Let me tell you that. Of course it is. See you next time.